Hello, my name is John Holman, Superintendent in the Lake Washington School District. You may have seen lately that a number of school districts in the Puget Sound region are announcing significant changes due to enrollment declines and budget concerns. I felt it best to provide you with some information about our situation and our work ahead. In short, Lake Washington School District continues to be in good fiscal standing. We are intentionally using our budget reserves. However, we will need to balance our budget to align funding received with expenditures in the next 2 years. Additionally, Lake Washington School District is not considering closing or consolidating schools as other districts have recently announced. The rest of this message aims to provide you with additional details about our budget outlook and some of the factors that are impacting our current situation. Our focus will continue to be on meeting the needs of students. To accomplish this, we must consider the school, classroom, and operational needs of the district. We take our responsibility of ethical management and stewardship of our public resources very seriously, and I hope this message provides a level of transparency and information about our next steps. I want to share with you the various layers that affect our overall budget: enrollment, escalating costs, planned use of budget reserves, required action to balance our budget, and finally, stakeholder engagement to accomplish a balanced budget and to update our strategic plan. Let's first talk about student enrollment, as this is the primary driver of funding for school districts. Prior to the pandemic, we were considered a rapidly growing district. We enrolled 31,100 students as of October 1, 2019. This year, we enrolled 30,423 students at our October 1, 2022 count. This is an enrollment decline of 677 students, or 2.1%. The state provides base funding of around $10,000 per student. This means we are receiving $7 million less in annual base funding than prior to the pandemic. As individuals, we all know the impacts of escalating costs in all aspects of our lives. These same escalations are occurring for the school district, while funding has not changed to meet the increased costs. We are a large employer with over 4,300 full and part-time staff. Costs related to the staff have risen over the last few years as we have worked to hire and retain quality staff in a very difficult labor market. The district has over 50 school campuses and support facilities we manage. Utility, maintenance, and insurance costs have increased at a similar rate to that of the individual homeowner. The costs of food, contractual services, and other aspects of required supports for the district have seen significant increases over the last few years. Prior to the state funding model changing in 2018, also known as the McCleary decision, Lake Washington School District was planning for the potential of experiencing a significant decrease in overall funding. Due to this, we intentionally built up our reserves to prepare. With the change in state funding, Lake Washington neither benefited nor lost funding. Essentially, McCleary kept us whole. Some districts received significant increases in funding, while other districts experienced significant decreases in funding. Since that time, we've been intentionally using our budget reserves to supplement our programs and services to get our reserves in alignment with our expectations. The pandemic caused an acceleration of the use of our reserves. Since Lake Washington School District received dramatically less pandemic relief funds compared to other large districts in the state of Washington. We were fortunate to have the reserves we did to help navigate the increased costs during the pandemic. A little more about our budget reserves. First, it is important to note that budget reserves can only be spent once, and when budget reserves are used for ongoing expenses, those expenses must go away once the budget reserves have been used. Second, we are required to maintain a minimum budget reserve of 5% of overall budget. This totals between $25 and $28 million. Third, our budget reserves are about $76 million right now, not including the dollars that are committed for carryover. Next, the district will use a portion of the budget reserves during the 22-23 school year and the 23-24 school year. And finally, the district will need to balance the budget prior to the 24-25 school year to ensure we maintain our good fiscal standing. Prior to the pandemic, we had grown by an average of 700 students per year since 2009. A third-party demographer predicted continued growth for Lake Washington School District through 2030. This type of growth means increased students, increased funding, and increased expenditures. The current projections for our school district is essentially flat for the next few years, as we have seen a number of regional variables play out. We serve many families that work in the technology industry, and this industry has seen an overall reduction since the height of the pandemic. In addition, remote work has become much more common across the industry. As our largest employers in the region settle into their new normal, we will then see how this affects our enrollment and our growth. At this time, our third-party demographer is projecting fairly stable enrollment with small declines over the next 10 years in Lake Washington. As stated previously, our expenditures are higher than our funding. We're intentionally using reserves, allowing the time to plan any budget adjustments. We're also continuing our conversation with our legislators on closing the funding shortfalls that do exist. Over the next 2 years, we will be going through a deep dive evaluation of our spending in order to balance our budget. This will require some reductions, right sizing of budgets, and considerations of staffing levels. Our current projection has us right sizing our budget by approximately $18 to $22 million. Some of these adjustments may be required for the 23-24 school year and some for the 24-25 school year. In context of the overall budget, this is about 4%. While 4% is less than other districts in the region are looking at, we know that it still comes with an impact, and we will need your partnership to accomplish the best outcome to continue serving our students well. Over the next 18 months, we will be engaged in a process to accomplish a balanced budget and to adopt a new strategic plan. As part of this process, we will be developing a regular communication cycle with all stakeholders, seeking input and feedback, participating in purposeful stakeholder engagement, and developing a number of advisory groups to provide ongoing technical support. By conducting the work of balancing our budget and developing a strategic plan at the same time, we can assure that we are funding our priorities, that our work and our decisions are transparent, and we develop a plan that continues excellence for each student in Lake Washington. In closing, you can expect to receive additional information about our budget and strategic plan process, as well as our request for involvement on a community budget advisory and a strategic plan advisory. I hope this information has helped to provide an overview of our current situation. If you are interested in additional information, please see the linked content in the written message that is being sent along with this video. Thank you for your continued partnership and support as we keep our focus on excellence for the students and youth across this great district. Thank you.